What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Another fantastic day of World Cup action has come and gone. Top stories from the day: England booking their place in the knockout stages. We had Colombia and Poland play to a thrilling 3-0 win. And of course, Japan and Senegal battling it out to see who will be top of the group. We'll be able to recap all of that and take a look at some of the other products that stood out on field, as well as look at some of the best that we've seen from social throughout the day. And of course, make sure you stay tuned to the very end for a special giveaway. This is SOCCER.COM Live. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is SOCCER.COM Live. Cole here with Adam and Martin. A great day of action, especially for you, Martin. Very early morning, but a thrilling victory for you.
I think it was a great day for lovers of the beautiful game because I think football's coming home. It's finally it's happening.
This is what happens year after year. The England fans get the hope.
It's the hope that kills you.
And then it just gets demolished.
Yep.
Because Lord knows you guys might win the group, or even if you come in second, depending on who you guys might play.
It's going to be a fantastic game now between England and Belgium, the final group game of that group, and the chance to win the group.
I say, especially when they're tied on goal differential as it is too.
Well, an interesting thing with that is that if they do end up tying, we could see for the first time ever the fair play rule come into play, where whoever will win the group it'll be because they have the least amount of yellow and red cards. So that's an interesting little aside for that matchup. I don't think we've ever seen it before, except maybe in Euro 2016 on like a third place.
Right. Yeah, but so, I mean, England obviously played really well. Lots of goals. Harry Kane, hat-trick, taking the 5 goals, top of the Golden Boot table right now.
Rather sketchily.
The
last goal was... I mean, it was
and obviously John Stones with popping up 2 goals out of nowhere, and a fantastic finish from Lingard for his goal. So I think most England fans, speaking from my own personal experience, I think England fans are used to, over the last few World Cups, playing against teams like Panama, who most would expect England to beat, but struggling and either tying or like scraping a 1-0 win. So it was nice to see them actually put in a really clinical performance in front of goal. And we'll see when they come up against a team like Belgium or in the round 16 and saying Harry Kane. Well, this is World Cup as well. It's hard to believe.
clinical in front of goal, something I never thought I'd hear in conjunction with the England national team. Let me tell you what.
Let us know what you think about England's performance today and how far you think the Three Lions can get at this World Cup. Leave us a comment. We will shout you out and do our best to answer it. Or if you have any questions about the World Cup, today's action, let us know.
Let us know. We're smart. Sometimes. We have fun. Anyway, moving on to the probably second most important game of the day would be Colombia versus Poland. I didn't expect Colombia to run away with it as much as they did.
Big win.
Major props to them. I mean, they came out, they looked a little hesitant at first, but then they started turning it on, and you could see them firing on all cylinders. And when they did, I mean, Poland could not keep up.
No, they were just ruthless on the break.
As we've been seeing in this World Cup, we've seen the big players step up with the big exception of one player who I'm not going to mention. But we saw Cuadrado get a goal, we saw Falcao get a goal, we saw James play the most delicious pass I've seen
Man of the match
in years.
Yes,
and I think this is definitely a really good omen for Colombia because in the game, the first game, those players were non-existent. And James only played 25 minutes.
And Cuadrado got subbed down the first half.
Right, so I think this is definitely a good omen for them. They have it all to play for. If they can win, they can go through. So I think
they control their own destiny.
They do, and I think that's definitely where they wanted to be. It's a place that I don't know if they had even imagined that they could be in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Going to sleep last night.
Confidence as well. I mean, confidence is a huge thing in soccer, like in any sport, and a performance like that is only going to set you up well for that final game. So, really exciting to see.
And it was great to see, Falcao get on the score sheet, Cuadrado get on the score sheet, and was it Mina?
Yerry
Mina. Get on there as well. I mean, key players that whether off set pieces or in the open play, are going to need confidence going towards goal for that last game. Yep. And it's setting up to be a very eventful final stage of group play.
Yeah, Falcao, a great story as well with his first World Cup goal, having had his injury troubles in the past. So it's nice to see actually Marco Reus scored yesterday for Germany. His first World Cup goal, Falcao today. Yep. Some good stories there.
And I just want to say before we move on to the next game, how disappointing were Poland? They were the top seed in that group.
I know they disappointed you.
I'm extremely disappointed, but Lewandowski was the only bright spot for them today, I think.
Mm-hmm. He was unlucky. He had some chances, some good saves from Ospina in goal.
Right, but they were the from pot 1. They were the team for Group H, and I think if I'm a Polish supporter, I'm definitely looking at this team and saying, what happened? This is a talented team. I know they're in a tough group, but you've got to point some fingers at some of the players and definitely the manager.
Well, I mean, I hate to say that they said something actually halfway decent on the broadcast, but the Fox commentators today, they actually brought up a good point about Robert Lewandowski, and it's the fact that his goals that he scores comes from somebody else setting up the creative opportunity. He's the ruthless finisher. He finishes off something else that somebody's created. And I think right now Poland are lacking that creator, whether it be through the midfield or throughout wide. I mean, they could not get a service into the box today to save their life. Whether that was just on Colombia's defense or whether that was just through the inept ability of Poland's wingers. For some reason, the best chance they had today was a desperate long ball that Lewandowski caught the back line sleeping on. And so it was one of those that I don't think he's had the proper service that he's needed from his midfielders, at least in the World Cup. But, of course, we do have to move on to our final game. Japan versus Senegal. Had some lulls in there from time to time, but gave us a pretty good overall match. 2-2 was the final score there. I was not expecting Japan to fight their way back the way they did, if I'm being completely honest. I'm happy they did. I love seeing that fight, but it's not something I expected to see.
Yeah, I think with Japan, you saw a team that would never say die type of mentality, and I think that's definitely important going forward for them, especially with their last group game. They're going to need to win it to secure the knockout stages. So they had a great game they had goals through Honda off the bench, and they also had a goal through Inui, who has been lighting it up in La Liga, just signed with Real Betis. So they've definitely got their superstars going, but I think also you saw Senegal take the game to Japan for most of the game. You saw that goal from Mane, finally getting on the score sheet, New Balance Furon. Love to see it.
Rather unknowingly, if you will. I mean, goal's a goal.
Right,
like you said, goal's a goal.
Goal's a goal, yep.
So I think it was cool to see, or good to see, Senegal be the aggressors in this, and it's kind of a evolution of what we saw in the first game, where they were the dominant team, but it was kind of surprising everyone. Now they're the dominant team. I think everyone was just surprised that Japan was as resilient as they were.
So going into the final, we talked about this group at the beginning of the tournament being probably the most evenly matched out of the 4 teams and could be up for grabs for anyone. And well poised now for the 3 teams really that are left in it. Who do we feel like has the best shot? So final games are Japan-Poland. Japan facing a deflated Poland, obviously no chance to progress. So you would think that they would be favourites, and then Senegal, Colombia kind of in a winner-takes-all for the other spot.
For the battle for second, man. I mean,
for me, Colombia and Japan would look like the most likely to progress at this point. But
to me, I think it's going to depend on how defensively strong Colombia can be, because I think we saw that a bit from Japan today. Japan typically can be very strong through the back, but we saw how Senegal was able to work in and find some space and break them down just a little bit. And it wasn't that they got clear-cut chances, per se. It was the fact that they happened to be in the right spaces at the right times to finish off the play. And I think with Poland, to me, it's either going to be one of two things. It's either going to be an absolute rout from Japan because Poland's just given up, or it's going to be Poland. They're out for blood. They've gotten beat for the past 2 games, and they just want to show their fans something good for the final game. And so, I mean, I could see Senegal somehow sneaking in, even though they are playing Colombia. But I don't know. It like you said, to start this, it's a wide open group.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Who is going to be your pick to progress from that group? Is it going to be Japan, Colombia, or Senegal?
Definitely. And of course, if you guys have any other questions or any other thoughts about any of the games today or a product you saw on field, put that in the comments as well. We're keeping track of that. We're going to answer a lot of those later on in the show. However, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be with you guys on the goal tracker. It's going to be fun.
So an opening in the defence and achieved the hat-trick.
It's one of the tournament's great goals. And this man is rampant now. He might have just won the cup for Germany.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the SOCCER.com live studio. I'm standing here next to, of course, one of my favorite things because it has all the shiny boots, the goal tracker. Sitting atop of the goal scoring chart, running away with the entire thing at 34 goals is the Nike Mercurial silo. The Vapor, of course, being the leading goal scorer boot from that silo. Moving on down the list, we have, I believe, 9 goals apiece for the Adidas X and the Adidas Predator, sitting strong in second place. And third, we have the Nike Hypervenom at 8 goals. Of course, we saw England add, I believe, 5 goals to that tally today. So, I mean, pretty much shot it right at the charts. We have 5 goals for the Puma 1, and then 3 goals apiece for the Nike Magista and Nemesis from Adidas, and 2 goals from the Puma Future. And, of course, on 1 goal, oh, man, we have a host of boots there. We have Under Armour Magnetico. We have Zuno Rebula got on the score sheet today. What else did we have there? We had New Balance Furon. We had Nike Tiempo. I mean, there's host on 1, but I mean,
11 Pro.
11 Pro as well.
Yes,
Yes, 11 Pro, because somebody will call that out from that absolute screamer that was scored yesterday. Moving on, though, I do want to let you know about some of the deals we have going on right now at Soccer.com. The World Cup match ball, the official match ball for the World Cup from Adidas, the Telstar, is up to 30% off right now, but for a limited time, we have a WC Ball 20 is the promo code, but it gets you an extra 20% off the entire Telstar series. Go ahead, go check them out. Go check them out. Pick one up if you like. $96. $96. Can't find that deal anywhere else. We still have the customization going on there as well. So you guys can get any games from the tournament customized on the ball. Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. On top of that, we have another promo going on World Cup accessories with the code one free. It's a buy 2 get 1 free. So if you guys are looking to pick up some little knickknacks, Panini albums, scarves, this little mini World Cup trophy here, just little great things to have to remember the World Cup. Definitely go on, check those out. The code is one free, once again, up to $45 max for the free item. And Panini items are already on sale as it is, so if you're looking to fill out that book, go ahead and stock up. Anyway, it is time to talk about one of mine and Adam's favorite boots from the American brand. Had a stellar game today. Stellar performances, 5 goals on the day.
5.
Don't think we can say that from a silo anywhere. Well, I mean, probably
Maybe
Merck might be able to say that, but 5 goals in 1 game, I don't think we can say.
No.
But anyway, here it is. Specifically, the Nike Hypervenom non-DF. But we do also have the DF version here, just because, you know, we like to have fun with you guys. So, anyway, Nike Hypervenom DF, Nike Hypervenom non-DF, or low cut, if you will. This one is actually customized from the Just Do It pack, so you guys can check this out right now on Soccer.com. It has the official customization that all of the national team players have for the World Cup, so it's got the country flag on the back. We have a bunch of those right now.
Country flag.
Oh, is it? Anyway, this is what Harry Kane was wearing today with the England flag on the back. So obviously we had to bring that in. John Stones as well. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
John
anybody.
Stones.
No.
I don't think anybody would expect John Stones to get on the score sheet twice. But anyway, fantastic boot. Love the upper. Adam, I know you're a big fan as well. What are your, just thoughts?
Yeah,
on the silo?
I think generally what I noticed when I first put it on was just how light it was. I didn't even really realize that I had a boot on. Which in the past you could say the Vapor was really light, but nothing like this. And I think also this old plate is super shiny, shocker, like as we've seen with most of these cleats this summer. But the Hyper Stability sole plate is really good for someone like me who's had some ankle injuries, something like that. So I'm or hyperactive. Sorry. So I'm able to kind of be a little bit more agile, a little bit more, have a little bit more support. So it's like a little bit stiffer than maybe it would be on another boot. But like if you have Nike, you would know this. They have a Nike grip system, so it's got on the insole, it's got these you can pair up with the Nike socks. That all helps lock down, which is the big thing for me. So overall, I just really love this boot. I look forward to getting like 6 more pairs. Differently, this would be the only complete.
I will say probably the most form-fitting upper of Nike's entire lineup of boots outside of kangaroo leather. Right. Just because leather, you know, a little non-structured upper. But I mean, once it breaks in, it really is probably the softest synthetic upper Nike has made in, I mean, a seriously long time.
If ever.
Yeah, and not to mention the low cut. I love the low cut. Something about it, like it just feels slightly different. It's a little stiffer through the heel, a little more stable. I don't know. It's just such a good looking boot. I know Martin's over there laughing at us.
No, I wear it, like it, enjoy it.
Maybe not as obsessed about boots as the two of us are, but you know.
Maybe I'm more of a jersey guy.
That could be it. I mean, you were wearing a great one that was on field today.
No, actually, they wore the home today.
Fair enough.
I just felt like wearing red because Adam was wearing white.
This one was on field.
The Senegal jersey. It's a good one. Look at that.
We had to bring a little color.
Yeah, you did. And that one, obviously, Colombia wore today for their win.
Fantastic. Great shirt. Anyway, it is time now for some viewer questions. We're going to take a look at what you guys have asked us and answer it as best we can so we can sound super duper smart.
Yeah, so Eric asks, the way Colombia played today, do you think they can improve still? And if so, how?
I think the only way that they can improve on this performance is that this team we have a little bit of as a complete we saw the other day. If they're going to be able to advance, this Colombia team needs to go like they did today, because otherwise I think they could be in trouble.
I mean, as always, no performance is absolutely perfect. I mean, some teams have been close, but they're never perfect. And so, I mean, there are small things they could tweak, but, I mean, if they play the way they did today, James is on his game, your strikers and your finishers are scoring goals, I think you're going to be fine.
We did get a comment from Kyle, who said that for him, Kane has been one of the standouts of the tournament so far, but also Quintero deserves a shout-out for Colombia. He was good today.
Yeah, he was really good, especially when they had some of those injury issues in the midfield. He kind of took over.
Was it his pass to Falcao, I think, for Falcao's goal? Yeah,
yes.
That was a beautiful pass.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you saw Quintero kind of take over like he did in the first game with that free kick. But, yeah, I think without scoring a goal, he was one of the top performers on the pitch today.
I do want to add that. I mean, you mentioned Harry Kane first off. And a lot of people don't realize this is his first World Cup. Granted, he's performed on all the other stages in the world. There's always something different about the World Cup that, especially a key goal scorer, it can make you choke if you're not careful. And I think it's just a testament to what kind of professional Harry Kane is. The fact that he's come in his first World Cup, he's captaining England. He just scored a hat trick today. He's now scored a hat trick in, I believe, every competition that he's played in, from Premier League, Europa League, World Cup, Premier League, stuff like that. I mean, he has 8 hat tricks in the Premier League. And
it's Ronaldo-esque.
I think a lot of people forget that this is his first World Cup, and he is still young.
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham fans will probably roll their eyes at me for saying this, but is there a club out there, maybe higher pedigree than Spurs, who would be seriously looking at Kane?
You mean a club that actually wins something?
Cup? Come on, let's not lose all the Spurs viewers that we currently have. So, Real Madrid, possibly another Premier League team, although I can't really see him moving to another Premier League team. Probably Real Madrid is the only one that you would think would be likely.
I don't know. I think LA Galaxy could be a strong shout.
Okay. Sporting KC?
That was
In
pure.
your
That
dreams.
was pure
In your
sarcasm. But I
dreams,
mean,
in your dreams.
I knew.
No,
I
it's-
was just going with it.
I definitely see potentially a Real Madrid. I mean, if he really sells out, which I don't think he will, I could see PSG. But that's only if PSG ends up offloading a couple of their players.
My understanding is that he wants to stay at Spurs for quite a long time, break records in the Premier League. So I don't think Spurs fans have too much to worry about.
No, I mean, most competitive league in the world. Why not? What else do we have there, Martin? Let's see what we got.
Who's shocked us most? Who surprised us most in the World Cup so far?
You mean outside of Argentina's shocking performances?
Well, I think they mean positively.
Positively.
I think going in the same group, I think Croatia has been really surprising to me. I knew they were good, and I knew they had good players, but in the past maybe they haven't put it together. They look very, very, very good.
They do,
this year.
yes.
So in the past 2 games, they kind of dominated. And I think once they can get into the knockout stage, I believe that they can do some serious damage if Rakitic and Modric keep them kind of humming along like they have been.
I'm going to have to say Lukaku. I mean, I expected him to come in and score goals. I didn't expect him to be as dominant as he is so far. At least in the games that he's played, he's been absolutely spectacular. But I mean, one shout that I did not expect, I expected to be seeing more of, was Kevin De Bruyne.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been good, he's been there. But I mean, I expected him to maybe impose himself a little bit more on the game than maybe he has. But I mean, you're sharing the midfield with Eden Hazard, so it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, good platform for him to do it in the next game. And I would probably say Mexico. I mean, 2 wins, beating the defending champions. It's hard to not mention them when we're talking about surprises.
Right.
David North asking Watford ?
For Harry Kane?
I think he's talking about Harry Kane's possible destination. I don't think so. Maybe 6 years ago on loan would have been a more likely scenario there, David.
Harry the
but
Hornet,
thanks
Harry
for the
Kane.
comment. Keep them coming.
There we go. And one last question before we move on. Would you rather have the best defense of the World Cup or the best attack in the World Cup?
I would always, always, always rather have the best defense. If I'm trying to win, as long as I can keep goals out, I can maybe squeak a goal in.
Yeah. Defense win championships, right? Come on.
I mean, that's exactly, was it Vicente Del Bosque from Spain 2010? That's exactly what he did with Spain's setup because, I mean, typically, he basically took Barcelona's system of that 4-3-3, and Barcelona plays with 1 defensive holding 2 attacking mids. Del Bosque flipped it and played with 2 defensive because it is lose and go home. Mm-hmm. And so they did play more defensive, and I think that's just a true shout. So, yes, in the grand scheme of things, go defensive.
Go defensive.
If you ever make it to the World Cup, go defensive. Yeah. Don't go home. There you go. Anyway, that is all we have for this segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you guys with some of the best from social media. Hey everybody, and welcome back to SOCCER.COM Live. Cole here with Adam and Martin, and it is now time for us to take a look at some of the best of social from today's actions. First up, we have a tweet from Squawka Football. Actually, a little bit more informational for today. Harry Kane, the first player to score 5+ goals in his first 2 World Cup games since I'm terrible at pronunciations. Is it
Just Fontaine?
That one. Yep.
Sure.
1958. I mean, granted, he went on to score 13 goals in that tournament, but
So will Harry Kane.
You know what? If Harry Kane can pull that off, he's only got one more World Cup to go, with 3 more goals to help tie the record there.
Yeah, well, exactly. And he's, like we've said before, he's only 24. I mean, it's likely he'll play in at least 2 more World Cups, if not more.
You would hope so, yeah. Moving on to the next one of the day, another one from Squawka. Kaseki Honda at the World Cup. First Japanese player to score at 3 consecutive tournaments. Great record to have there for him.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been a fantastic player for Japan over his whole career. And I think, with him playing well in this form, we had a comment left on our comments earlier that was talking about Japan being really entertaining to watch. And I think, potentially with them, if they can get through the group, obviously, that could be quite a groundbreaking tournament for Japan to push themselves further than they have in the past.
Very well said. Very well said. Might be a true dark horse. You never know.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, why not?
Moving on from there, another one from Squawka Football today. Premier League-based players have now scored 25 goals at the 2018 World Cup, 5 more goals than any other league in the world. I think that might just be a testament to the type of players that the Premier League turns out.
Yeah, they get scores.
They do.
It's a high-scoring league, so...
They definitely do.
Yeah.
We have one more here about the last game of the day from James Rodriguez. Across 2 World Cup tournaments for 2014 and 2018, no player has scored more goals or provided more assists than James Rodriguez. I think that's a pretty good stat to have in your name, especially going forward into the last game of group stages.
Yeah, and arguably has not really received, the plaudits that I think he deserves. He's been a bit of a wandering player since the last World Cup, a couple of different teams, but seems to be most at home when playing for Colombia.
Yep. And Adam, I will let you take this last one.
So, a little bit controversial. Not really. Feliz cumpleaños to El Capitan, Leo Messi, celebrating his 31st birthday today at base camp for Argentina. So it's a bit interesting considering some of the rumors coming out of the Argentina camp right now of a mutiny against Coach Jorge Sampaoli. So
I tell you what, though, that is a good-looking cake.
It looks good, doesn't it? I know you like cakes and donuts.
I love my sweets. I love my sweets. Messi, if you ever need some cake for you, you know where to find me. Anyway, that was the best of social for the day. And actually, you know what? In honor of Martin's fantastic day today for the English people as a whole, let's give away one of their jerseys today.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. You guys can get your choice, home or away. Going to be awesome stuff.
Yeah, you can do home or away. All you need to do is head to SOCCER.com/England. Very easy to remember. Very easy to remember. And we will drop it in the comments for you if you forget. Go right down to the bottom of that page. There's a sign up. Put in your details. Include the phrase it is today. Not just a word. It's a passphrase. That is 3 lines. And the nickname for England. And you'll be entered to give away about 24 hours. So you have not long to do it. Go ahead, get yourself entered.
That's right. Go get it, and who knows? Maybe if you guys win, it could be something memorable to keep a hold of, kind of like that 1966 jersey for you guys.
Don't jinx us, Cole. But I mean,
just
it could.
But yes,
it's going to happen one day. England is going to win the World Cup.
Supposedly, football's coming home. Supposedly, it's coming home.
England will win the World Cup when the U.S. wins the World Cup.
Really? That's
all right.
The same year.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Go on.
Hot take. All right. On that hot take note right there from Mr. Adam Cosgrove, I think that is about time for us to wrap up here. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. Another great day of action. We got last stage to look at now.
Yeah. It's the final set of group games. Down. Yeah. It's exciting.
Yeah, we're more than halfway through.
Simultaneous games start tomorrow. So, get your 2 TV setup ready.
Yep, that's right. Or if you're like me, just get a TV and a laptop because, couch life.
Millennials.
There we go. Anyway, that is all we have for you guys today. As always, make sure you guys tune into all the action tomorrow so you can interact with us through social media at SOCCER.COM. And, of course, tune into our live stream. You guys can interact with us here and have a chance to win something else that could be awesome tomorrow. Anyway, that's all we have for you guys today. This has been SOCCER.COM Live, and we will see you guys again tomorrow.